His contact. Tielemans from long distance. Oh!
This video is sponsored by KlipDraw, a software that we use to edit our videos. If you're interested in using this software too, please see the description below for affiliate links. A stylish hybrid who flatters to deceive, or a long-forgotten wonderkid that's finally realising his potential. Just how good is Youri Tielemans?
Steven Gerrard took over.
Tielemans' dribbling stats are surprising. To the naked eye, he seems a technician, someone you would assume he is rather like a Thiago Alcantara in that he does treasure the ball and he seems to be comfortable in tight situations, just like we see here. But in truth, whilst his dribbling is pretty solid, it isn't spectacular in terms of close control and flair compared to your Verrattis, Modric's, and neither is he as explosive as, say, the newcomers coming through like your Jacob Ramsey, or even a player like a Frankie de Jong. He doesn't progress the game enough with his ball carrying, nor does he run at players enough.
Attacking forward here, Patson Daka fizzed into Madison, who killed it beautifully. Tielemans to kill it!
In terms of goal threat, Tielemans' stats are slightly inflated by the fact that he started to take penalties, but even withstanding that, he represents a considerable goal threat. He's got wonderful long-range shooting technique and he hits the ball very clean. Now, his shot accuracy rate in general is lower than a Jacob Ramsey, but Ramsey is someone who strikes closer to goal and is more composed inside the box, whereas Tielemans tends to take more shots from distance. Tielemans has never really broken the 10-goal mark since leaving Belgian football. Most registas fail to score more than 10 goals a season, but it's arguable that Tielemans' playmaking, which we'll touch upon later, isn't his strong point, and he's underutilising this particular strength that he does possess.
Tielemans.
In terms of creativity, Tielemans is more productive than the likes of Thiago or Frankie de Jong. He's got a wide range of creative threats or weapons in his locker. He's someone who can cross the ball with either foot, he can thread the ball from deep, or he can even lay off disguised passes inside the box. Does this mean that he's a number 10? No, but for a regista, it's more than respectable. Even for a box-to-box midfielder, it's more than respectable. So he's a player who's got that ability to make quick, creative decisions which bypass midfield lines and unleash the forward line. If there is any slight criticism, maybe he's a bit overambitious with his passing. You could even argue with the skill set that he has, maybe he could be doing even more from a creative point of view. But generally speaking, he's got a wonderful ability to spot a pass very quickly.
Despite form, it could be.
Tielemans is a player who doesn't really get on the ball often enough or pass the ball often enough to be labelled a world-class potential regista. He's not someone who's a Thiago or a Verratti. He's not going to dominate the whole game for 90 minutes. Neither is he a player who's going to dominate periods of possession like a Modric or a de Jong. He's someone who will need to be carried to some respect. He'll need his CDM to also be a top-class deep-lying playmaker. He's going to need his advanced 8 and number 10 player to also be a world-class playmaker as well. So for him to be in a team that dominates possession, he can't be doing the heavy lifting.
For him, with his ability, set pieces, goals, assists, does he want to...
In terms of his long passing, quite frankly, his statistics are shocking, because the eye test would suggest that surely long passing would be one of Tielemans' strengths. I mean, for me, the biggest flaw is just the fact that he's sloppy. He's someone who doesn't seem to take any pride in precision, and at times he looks like he's just taking liberties with his long passing. And it's mightily frustrating because he's clearly someone who is a very clean ball striker. He's someone who can switch play with both feet. So clearly the talent is there. Possibly the dedication and the concentration on the long passing front is not. And that probably explains why his statistics in this regard are lacking. Because surely, just by watching him, you can tell that he can hit a long ball.
Clear-cut opening, though, it must be said, on a day when...
In terms of his heading, Tielemans is not a liability, but he's not a dominant force either. He's just par for the course in this respect. Doesn't really stand out. Guys like Thiago and Frankie de Jong are, they're superior than him in the air, which kind of says it all really. He's not someone who imposes himself physically on the game. And I'd say his timing when it comes to the leap is generally a bit hit and miss. So yeah, I wouldn't say that this is a particularly important part of his game or something that's really going to make him stand out in any regard.
Nowadays, to get things right.
Defensively, Tielemans shows good instincts. He's happy to get back. He's happy to win the ball. He's not someone who I'd say is defensively, positionally aware to become a defensive pivot. He has been used in that position this season by Brendan Rodgers, but that's only because Ndidi's been out with injury. He hasn't done too bad, to be fair to him, but for me, he's someone I'd want more in a creative role. And for a regista, he shows enough defensive capacity to be considered a balanced player tactically. In terms of the way he tries to win the ball, he's not afraid to go to ground, so he can be quite aggressive. What I particularly like about him is that when he wins the ball higher up the field, he's someone who can instantly take advantage by unlocking that disorganized defense, by taking a long shot or make that instant killer pass. So in terms of counter pressing, he's a fantastic weapon to have in your midfield. Tactically, Tielemans is a player who is neither a regista or a box-to-box midfielder, but someone who possesses elements of both. Leicester have played all manner of formations last year, but predominantly you'd say it's a 4-2-3-1, and Tielemans plays as the more creative double pivot figure alongside Ndidi, who sits. In terms of national team, Belgium play a 3-4-3, and again he forms part of a two-man midfield in the central areas. Now, strengths he brings is the ability to win that ball high up the pitch and make things happen quickly. He can pick a pass across the final third and he can shoot from very long range. Tactical weaknesses is that the game seems to pass him by and you can't always feel his presence. Now, he's been linked to Arsenal and United. With regards to Arsenal, Arteta also generally favours a 4-2-3-1. So you can imagine Tielemans slotting in next to Partey as part of that double pivot, and perhaps Vieira, Odegaard, Smith Rowe can play in front of that double pivot. And this could also become a three-man midfield in a 4-3-3 or a 4-1-4-1. Now, is Tielemans a huge upgrade on Xhaka? Yes, in my opinion, he's a definite upgrade. I think he's a nice fit for that counter-pressing, fast possession style that Arteta seems to be building there. With regards to United, is he a good backup if De Jong doesn't arrive? No, he's not in the same league as a De Jong at his best. He's not as press resistant. He's not as commanding on the ball. So he's not that perfect replacement type fit for De Jong. Yes, he's arguably more productive in the final third, but United need someone who's going to transform their build-up play overnight and dictate the game. Tielemans does not do that to a sufficient enough degree to take United to the next level. If he was to partner De Jong ahead of a world-class CDM, yeah, I wouldn't mind him. But again, where does that leave Bruno Fernandes, who looks in good form in pre-season? So for me, it causes more problems than solutions. In conclusion, Tielemans is definitely a player you'd imagine playing in the group stage of a Champions League. He's technically gifted, he's neat and tidy, he can fit into a pressing system. Nothing wrong on that front. I just don't see him as an elite midfielder, someone who's going to develop into a world-class player. He just seems like a slightly more average version of a Thiago, Verratti, Modric, those type of midfielders. He's just not at their level. And I can't see him having the weapons to become as good as, but he does have that unique goal threat. And that's probably what makes him appear a more glittering prospect than what he actually is. Nevertheless, I think he would be a good signing for Arsenal. So I think Gunners fans should be excited by having him arrive at that club for where they are now. But if they were to realistically want to challenge for a title, he's not that type of midfielder who's going to make that type of impact. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Please like, share and subscribe, and see you guys again next time. Bye.